think it's a big deal when we hire a correction officer. I mean, I don't mean that like as opposed to a clerk or a secretary, but there's something special about what a correction officer does, a police officer does, a firefighter does, and we have to call attention to that. That's why we make a point to have you come here. That's why we have a swearing-in ceremony. That's why we say, hey, allow your family to come here, because what a correction officer does is an important service to the community, to the inmates, right, to the court system, right, and to the residents of the city of Parma. The obligations of a correction officer are to keep the residents, keep that inmate safe, keep that inmate fed, make sure that that inmate has the correct medical care, and it's your job to see when that's not being met. It's your job to see when there's any psychological issues that might lead to self-harm, harm of other inmates, and as important, harm to your brothers and sisters. So it's your job to keep them safe, keep your brothers and sister correction officers safe, and you're doing all that as an officer, right? A sworn officer for the city of Parma. So that's why I'm saying it's a big deal. That's why I'm saying to your family that it's a big deal what he's doing, what he's agreeing to take on. And sometimes, especially if you ask the inmates, it's a thankless job. Right? They don't always send you a thank you card when they're leaving. Sometimes, if they did, they might have spit on it. And you do your work despite their appreciation. And sometimes you do that work with insults sometimes, because you're not doing it for the praise. You're doing it is because it's important that it be done. Is the first step in the criminal justice process. You have these uncharged inmates, and it all starts with that detention, because when they're arrested and they're detained, that's the first step in getting them to court so that they can get their due process, and so that we, the state of Ohio, can have an opportunity to present our case, so that maybe we can get a conviction when they deserve it. And if it's not guilty or the case is dismissed, so be it too. So understand that in most cases you're dealing with people that are not convicted yet. They haven't had their day in court. They're not criminals yet. Of course, some might have a criminal history, but nevertheless. So with that, I'm going to ask you to stand up. And we've got to make it legal now. I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. I, Joseph Klass, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and
the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and further affirm that I will faithfully, honestly and impartially discharge the duties of the Office of Correction Officer, Class 2.
Class 2.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Woo! Congratulations, baby!
Where are we eating?